I'm back, everybody. Back from my Disney World vacation. Wow. Can't really tell from this video, probably, but dude, I am tan. I mean, like, for real. But I got the light on me, so any sort of tanness gets blinded by the light. But I am back, and yeah, this video or this podcast is all going to be about my Disney adventure, guys. And not to like brag and tell you guys, like, here's my vacation slides, but here's my vacation slides, Animal Kingdom right there. By the way, that tree, if you're not familiar with that tree, is the tree of life and all that, but there was a reason they call that tree the tree of life. And they're planted all throughout Animal Kingdom. It's because that tree can hold water for up to 9 years. So when animals and in the heat and then in the droughts are looking for water and they see that tree, they will bust into it to pull the water out. Super cool. But anyway, that's not a real tree. But what a view. Anyway, I want to talk about it, and I'm going to give away some things here. I'm going to talk, kind of talk about the trip, kind of talk about the expense side, but really just the overall meaning of what it is to take a true vacation. And I've not done that in a while. And I know some of you guys are like, well, Brandon, we've seen you go to Vegas, you've gone back to Detroit, you've gone camping, and I've done those fun trips. I am not saying that I haven't done some really cool things, but it has been a long time since I have gone into, let me scoot this up a little, guys. Hold on. Since I've gone into a real vacation for a length amount of time like I did. I mean, we were like 6 days gone. And I'm still gone, technically, when I'm recording this, because I'm not back to work yet. I will be when this goes live, but I'm not back to work yet. And I'll be honest with you, there is something about getting away. There is something about leaving and going to a place that you can focus on what that is. You can focus on what the quality time you have for yourself, the quality time you have for the people you bring with. And for me, it was the quality time with my son. We have quality time. I mean, we do things. Even the moments that are just chill days, because not every day can be, an adventure. And it's not going to be now that I'm back because I'm broke. But different level of quality time, a different level of core memory making for myself at 46 years old, as well as my son. And that is the most important thing. Take away all the thrills, take away all the stuff we bought and the experience, the people we met and that, and the rides. That is the core. And that is what rejuvenates the soul. Because I do feel rejuvenated. I look pretty good, minus I got to shave. Just saying, lost a little weight. Yeah. Which is funny because I didn't eat healthy, that's for sure. I mean, I had moments, but let's dive into it. Let's talk about it, guys. So sit back, relax, come on this trip with me. If you're planning on going out of town, these are things that even if you're not going to Disney, that maybe you might want to think about, especially if you're bringing young ones. If you are going to Disney, maybe you're planning a trip this year. Maybe you're going in a couple months. Maybe you're going next year. I don't know. These are some things that we can talk about. So first and foremost, I think still, and I've talked about this before, I hate flying. Not the fear, although there's a little bit of that these days. The older I get, the more afraid I get. Although you wouldn't know that when I've gotten on roller coasters this whole time, but whatever. It's just how flying, like to describe flying, you have to go to a place early to wait in line, to then walk to another place to wait in line, to get on a overcrowded airplane where basically you feel like you are inconveniencing everybody that works on that plane, even though that's their job. And you're not treated great. You're shoved in, you have people that are over empowered and it's horrible and expensive. And then if you take the cheap side of it, you feel it even more. I took the cheap side because my thing is like, let's spend the money on vacation, not the flight. And because it was such a big, by the way, I have my iPad here because I have some notes on it. So if you hear a little vibrating, it's because it's getting blown up right now. I even put it on Do Not Disturb, and it's still getting blown up right now. So there's that. Why is my hat? I don't care. It's just the way it is. Oh, it's crooked. You know what? I don't care. Whatever. So I went the cheap route and I flew Spirit. I know. Let's just all point the finger and laugh. Spirit is a dumpster. It's one up from Frontier, and it's a dumpster. They are the most overcrowded, rudest people in my life. They're constantly filling their planes too much and then overselling the tickets, then saying, hey, is there any volunteers that would like to fly later? Why would anybody want to fly later when they want to get to where they want to get and you screwed up? You know how many seats are on the airplane. Well, and you get one, you don't get a carry-on bag for most of the flights with Spirit anymore. You have to pay for it. So there's that. You do. You can bring your personal item, backpack like we did. Luke and I had a backpack and we shoved under the seat, no problem. And we fit everything we needed in there. But if this was a longer trip or maybe somewhere that was like further, we would have to pay for a carry-on bag. Now, we did share a suitcase, which worked out just fine. There was a couple things I wish I would have maybe packed a little more of and I didn't accommodate for, but overall, no problem. Even with bringing merchandise back, not a problem. And we had to check that, $65. Both ways. Seriously, 65. Not just you check your bag once and you know you're returning on the same flight, $65. So $130 for my bag. Not including the tickets, not including like on the way back, no Wi-Fi, even the free Wi-Fi, no movies, no in-flight crappy pretzels, water, everything is charged. Would you guys, they come down with a cart of stuff. Want a merchandise? Want any, not merchandise, want a pay for snack? Pay for snack? No, I don't. So you don't get anything on a plane that you're just praying lands. So I think Spirit is trash. Yeah. And we were fine on the way back. We had nobody in our row. On the way there, we sat next to a complete jerk. And I only say that because they didn't even like acknowledge our existence or say, excuse me, when they tried to get by. They were just jerks. I mean, I like sat there and I'm like, I'm about to get in a fight this early in the morning. But I mean, as far as the flight goes, it was on time and it landed and whatever, boom. I will say this, for me, next flight, not when we go back to Detroit. That's just whatever. But the next flight, like when we go on a trip again, which probably won't be like true trip, which won't be till next summer, I'm gonna pay wherever I go. And see, I don't like flying out of Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW, because it is a busy, stupid airport that I can't stand. But I didn't have to drive there or anything. I got a shuttle. We only paid $60 to park the whole time. We parked at Embassy Suites, like just outside of it, got on a shuttle for free, boom, dipped us there, drops us right off at the gate, picks us right up, takes us back to the car, $60. Yeah, getting off your car to get on a shuttle to go to the airport might seem annoying, but the alternative was like 120. You stay at the airport, it's like $25 a day. So $60 was, I highly recommend looking to travel. I prefer like looking to park somewhere outside of whatever airport that you're in, because you just got to accommodate for a little extra time, but you save a whole lot of money. So that's huge. I prefer Love Field. It's a smaller airport. It's easier to get to. Doesn't take me as long, but what are you going to do? By the way, this is at Animal Kingdom, and we're going to get to Animal Kingdom in a minute because I originally said I wasn't going to go there. Don't sleep on Animal Kingdom. Where we stayed, it was really cool, you know. First off, we land in Orlando, and it's about 29 minutes to the hotel to Walt Disney World's property. If I'm not mistaken, don't they own something like 200 or 370 acres plus? Something massive. And they still have room to build. I think it's way more than that. We got an Uber. Disney does not offer the free shuttle service anymore from the airport to the resorts. They used to, they don't. There are these things called the mini mobiles or minivans. It's hilarious. They literally look like Minnie Mouse. Um, those are to get around from the resorts to different resorts. Like you can just bounce from resort to resort, check out the restaurants, check out the activities, and all that. And you can use the minivan anywhere for free if you schedule it on Disney's properties. That's cool. But to get from the hotel or to get from the airport to the resort, and we stayed at the All Star Sports Resort, and there's All Star Music Resort, I can't talk, All Star Animation. These are not like the creme de la creme of Disney, okay? But you're on a Disney resort, like you're on Walt Disney, you're on the property, and for me, that's the only way to stay is on the property. I don't think that because of all the amenities and the easy accessibility to pretty much everything, I don't think that that's even a question. But this was a pretty inexpensive for Disney. This was pretty inexpensive. So we had to get an Uber, and the guy was great. Matter of fact, on the way to the hotel, we saw an alligator. So I was showing Luke as we were driving over this little bridge highway. There's water on both sides. You know, you're in Florida, right? Not the ocean, but it's Florida, so there's water. And I said, dude, pretty much every water area you can see, from a lake to a pond to a creek to a drainage ditch to a swimming pool, you can assume that either an alligator's in there, more than one, or an alligator has been in there at some point. And the guy was like, yeah, it's true, you know, there's more alligators than humans here, you know. So basically it's like land of the lost, it's dinosaurs, you know. Um, and I go, yeah. And so Luke's looking at the water and the guy goes, hey, check that out. And he kind of pulls over, not all the way off the highway, but close enough to where we can see the water. There's an alligator just sunbathing, just chilling. I go, is that real? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, there's more than one in there. I've seen it. I drive this every day. And Luke was like, within minutes, he got to see an alligator. And that set the tone for the trip because, like, that's exciting. You saw an alligator, you know, like, I love that. I think that's especially for boys, but maybe other people too. That's just one of those things like, dude, I saw a freaking dinosaur. And so we get to the hotel, the All Star Resort. We're already checked in. We're checked in on the app. So all we have to do is go up to the front desk. They wave us in. Hey, let me go over a few things with you. They go over everything. Where stuff is, here's the map, here's your room, anything you need, bada bing, bada boom. And Luke and I are starving. So we walk over to the commissary or whatever, like this giant food court with like probably like 9 different places to eat. Tons of seating, TVs up everywhere, drink stations and whatever. And we check in. We still have our bags, but we're starving. I'm like, buddy, let's eat. Daddy's got to eat. And then we'll go explore. Because the first day, we were not going to any of the parks. We were going to check out the hotel, maybe hit the swimming pool, maybe play video games, kind of walk around, just do whatever, you know? And just enjoy and then get up early and hit Hollywood Studios the next morning, Disney's Hollywood Studios. That was the game plan. So on this meal plan, and I have to break it down for you, there's multiple meal plans. There's meal plans for sit-down dinner, so you can go to restaurants. There's meal plans for just kind of casual grab-and-go dining. We did the casual dining. This is crazy, dude. I say we, Luke and I, 2 meals a day, okay? 2 meals a day. We could pick and choose whatever those were from any of the restaurants. We got these cups, and this is going to jack up my green screen, but check it out. Here, I'll stop right there. got these cups for free. Fill up as many refills as you want. Anytime you're in the hotel, you could take it and use it as a water cup at the park and fill up with water anytime you want at any of the parks. Which we had our own water bottles, but I'll get to that in a minute too, because it's crucial. It's hot, so drink water. But you can fill it up, and you don't even have to get food. You're just like, I want some Powerade. And that's what they had: Powerade, Gatorade, lemonade, every type of soda, coffee, just regular black coffee, which they also had in the hotel room, and tea in the hotel room, fully stocked. Hot chocolate, which that didn't sound fun. Any drink, and you just fill up. But what was cool about it was, so we each got one of those for the duration. We got to take it home, so you got a souvenir. 2 meals a day. I know you're thinking, but Brandon, there's 3 meals a day. Yeah, but you could get a third meal if you want. And what I'm just saying is it balanced out. They balanced it out to where it was 2 meals a day. But let's say you were like, dude, we're gonna eat at the park tomorrow. Let's use our third meal here. You could do that. I think it was a snack a day per person. No big deal. So Luke and I had a whopping total. We were there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 12 meals each. That's 24 meals for free. I mean, yes, you paid that price, but let me break down exactly how much you saved. Unlimited drinks, 12 snacks. Okay. Not to mention, like, they had like free fruit. So there's like apples in the morning. I mean, once it's gone, it's gone. Bananas, oranges. So I would grab one of those. Whenever we went to the park, I'd grab a couple apples, bananas, whatever, shove them in my backpack just to have a snack throughout the day, because you don't want to waste your money on like basic food. So Luke and I, first day there, I got a bacon burger and fries. Luke got a cheeseburger and fries and apple slices and a bottle of water. Kids meal comes with 2 sides, so he doubled up. No, he got fries and apple slices and a burger. It's a big cheeseburger too. And we filled up our drink, but then it also comes with a drink: water, bottled water, chocolate milk, regular milk, orange juice, apple juice, whatever. So he grabbed a bottle of water. He didn't really need it because we had filled up our waters. We kept on filling up our water jugs. And mind you, there is water-like stations all throughout the resort too. So if you're by the swimming pool and you run out of water, you don't have to run inside. You just kind of fill up your water right there. And we ate, and as we're eating, this guy comes up. He's like, are you guys leaving or just getting here? I'm like, we just got here. Because we have our suitcases next to us. We didn't even go to the hotel room yet. We were just so hungry. And he's like, well, I'll run your stuff to the hotel room for you. And I'm like, no, it's cool. He's like, no, I'll do it. He took off, ran it to the hotel room for us. So he's like, just so you can enjoy and sit. And they don't take tips. I tried to tip them. They don't take any tips. I'm sure somebody would if I left money on the table, cash, but no, like, let me scan something. Can I put your name down? Can I Venmo? Nothing at all. You get this food, you check out, they scan it, everything's on the app, and they also give you a card, which is your dining card and your room key. You don't need it. You don't need the dining card if you can put that pass on your phone, but whatever. Grab your food, beep. Okay, and it deducts it from your meal plan. I spent $15 that day, or $18, and that was in the airport, getting me a cappuccino, Luke something to drink, and a snack for the airplane down. That's it. I mean, I guess the Uber too, but let's just talking about ancillary things, We ate. That was our like late lunch dinner. And then for dinner, Luke and I weren't real hungry. We went swimming. Amazing pool, beautiful. They have 2 pools there. One is huge, one is more chill. They have rock climbing, they have an arcade. S'mores every night. S'mores. You want s'mores? They got bonfires. Just go. They got a s'more station you set up. Giant chessboard that Luke and I were playing. Foosball. A store to go check out. the buses go run nonstop to take you to resorts, to take you to different parks. Um, Little weird things throughout. Like each area was dedicated to a sport. We were on the baseball side, but there's a giant football field, like huge, fake grass where you can play football. And the great thing is you can check out like equipment. So, not many people think to bring a football to Disney, I guess. Luke and I want to play football. You go to the locker, it's called. You scan your card, assigns you a football, doesn't cost anything, just the room. And obviously, if you lose it or whatever, they're going to bill you. You play football and you return it. They had that for basketball. They had that for baseball. They had that frisbees, all kinds of stuff. Plus, the pool is filled with like beach balls. I mean, Luke and I had a blast. We go in the room. I thought it was one queen size bed, and I was like, whatever, it's fine. Got in, there's a queen size bed, a little desk, this big closet, massive TV, nice little bathroom, refrigerator stocked with free stuff. And it has a note, welcome. Had a couple bottles of water, 2 Cokes, and some Disney snacks. Once it's gone, it's gone. But dude, again, the key thing to remember here is the bottles of water, guys. And Disney Plus. So, boop, playing Disney Plus, and Luke and I are looking around the room, and he loves hotels. I remember we stayed in Vegas, and MGM was not the greatest hotel. Like the room kind of sucked. They didn't even have bottles of water for us. They didn't even have coffee for us. The room was crap. The view was great, but the room was garbage, and he loved it. So he just loves hotels. It's just fun for him. And I think that's cool, actually, because I remember being a kid and liked the idea of staying in hotels. They're always cold, and you get these cold sheets. Maybe when you get older, it sucks, but I think it's cool. And I turned on Disney Plus, and we got back from the wall. Like, no, yeah, I don't know. This was back from the pool. And I take a shower, and I'm like, we're gonna get some snacks. We're gonna go something to eat. But we're not that hungry. So we're not sure exactly what we're going to do. And I'm like, you want to go check out the arcade? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And mind you, I didn't want to be up all night because we have an early day the next day. But as we're leaving, he's like, Dad, what's in that closet? You didn't open it yet. I'm like, oh yeah. It's probably just more room to store stuff if you're staying here a long time. And I go to slide it, and it doesn't slide. And I'm like, what? And I kind of go to do this. I'm like, dude, this isn't a closet. So there's a desk connected. As I pulled it down, it's a giant queen-sized Murphy bed. There's 2 beds in there. So we each got our own bed. The desk folds and go. Dude, I didn't know because I don't read. And I was like, this is awesome. We go to the arcade, put $20 on there. But I forget that they loaded up our card with $20 already. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh well. So we got $40 at the arcade. We're playing air hockey, basketball. We're riding motorcycles, giant Pac-Man and Space Invaders. And we just spent some time. It's like, hey, let's save some of this, for the next time we come here, like later down in the week. We get to bed. We get up early. Guys, I'm not going to give you like a day by day, but, we get up early. We go down to breakfast. And they change the menu. So like, again, I'm walking and the guy's like, hey, do you need any help? I'm like, no, we're going to get some breakfast. He's like, well, there's coffee over there. And I was like, okay, well, I assume that it meant that the coffee, because it's cappuccinos, lattes, and all that. So I was like, I want a cappuccino. I thought that would count as one of my, like, something, on the plan. As long as I got a breakfast, it was my drink. I was getting cappuccinos, lattes every day. That alone would have been, you got to look at it. I probably had 5 lattes. Let's just say 5 cappuccinos there every morning. Times $7-8. Say it's $7. That's crazy. You're almost, at least with tag, it's almost $40 you would have spent. But it was included as long as I got breakfast. Now, breakfast was huge. You could get platters, waffles, sausage, bacon, eggs. They called them potato barrels, but they were tater tots. Then Mickey waffles and oatmeal. And then they had the healthy stuff like toast and scrambled eggs and fruit salad and um, avocado bowls and all that. But the guy goes, I'm going to tell you a hint. Get something off the kids menu. You can both do it. They're not going to question you. But if you get something off the kids menu, again, remember, 2 sides, a snack, and you could get a banana, an orange, and apples as a snack that's included, and a drink. And yes, if your son wants milk or whatever, that's fine. Bottled water. And I'm like, dude, we had and the kids' meals were big. So Luke was like, give me pancakes. 2 big pancakes. He got an orange, bottled water, sausage, and scrambled eggs. Meal plan. But we stored those bottled waters just to have in our backpacks in case we couldn't find a filling station, or we just filled them in our thermoses or whatever you want, our water bottles to keep cold, just to go in the park. You save so much money that way. And then if Luke's like, Dad, I want some Powerade, you fill it up in one of these bad boys. We ate, we walk out. They've got the buses lined up. They come like every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Boom, get on to Hollywood, takes us to Hollywood Studios, pulls you right on up, drops you right off. Get right in, scan it, because we've got our passes, scan the phone. They take your thumbprint, which I thought was kind of weird. And I'm sure if I think about it, I can figure out why. But you scan your pass, Mickey's ears light up, and then there's a thumbprint. I need to look into that. Maybe it's for like missing children or something connected to, I don't know. But on the app, you have your Bluetooth on the whole time. That's what they told me to do for the most part. You don't have to, but it's for the pictures. Anywhere in the park, whether it be a ride, whether you stop at one of the Disney photographers and they take a picture, it automatically uploads to your account because you've scanned it, you've linked that account with your pass, and everything in the park is just boom, boom, and it uploads it. And I will say this, 95% of the pictures that are uploaded, you can download and save them. You don't have to pay for them. There are some meet and greets like that you have to pay for. But most of the meet and greets will hold your camera for you and take a picture. Most of them. I didn't pay for any of the pictures. And I haven't even uploaded the pictures of us and Darth Vader yet, or the other pictures of me and Donald and Goofy. And we didn't upload all those yet. So wait till you see those. That were for free. I didn't have to pay for them. And they came out great. But they're uploaded onto your phone. So any of the ride stuff, the roller coaster shock and awe, dude, it's uploaded on your phone. Super cool. And your lightning passes are on your phone. I know that's been a big question. What are the lightning passes? Well, we all know that Disney has the ability to make your patience go very far or short because of the lines, right? You just anticipate it. And Luke was a champ. I'm going to tell you right now, that kid did not whine about the lines at all. He might have complained a little, but not enough for me to get annoyed, not enough for me to sit there and care. Because we were just playing like paper, rock, scissors, guess a number. He was talking to kids behind us. Plus, most of the Disney rides, when you're in line, have stuff going on. It's part of the story, especially like Rise of the Resistance or Star Tours or Guardians of the Galaxy. You're in the moment from looking at the details of the base that you're in or the holograms or just the music or just the whole atmosphere. You're into it for the most part. So it's not like you're just waiting there staring like you're in line at the DMV or at stupid Spirit Airlines. He was great. And honestly, we were so freaking blessed. that we didn't wait hardly for any. One of the longest waits at Hollywood. At Hollywood was the bus ride home because it was in the middle of a storm because the skies opened up and were soaking wet, lightning everywhere. It was crazy. That was the biggest. And we were already done with everything. We were just debating if we were going to do something else before we headed back to the hotel. So lines, no big deal. But the lightning passes Disney offers, they got rid of the virtual queue. There's no virtual queue anymore. It used to be the point where you'd get up in the morning at 7 a.m. and pick a thing to get yourself in the virtual queue, where you basically are like, okay, 9:30, I have to be at this ride to wait in line. They got rid of that. There's just standby, jump in lines, normal OG stuff that probably most of us did when we were kids. And then there's lightning passes. So the lightning passes, you can buy the like multi-pass where you pick 3 different events for the park. So for example, Star Tours, the OG Star Wars ride, Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train, Smuggler's Run, Slinky Dog, all those big, you can pick 3 of them. So I got I got the pass. It was $24 per person, $48. But we got to go on 3 rides, like each. We were doing more, but I'm saying we didn't have to wait in line for some of those key rides that there's a big line for. And even if there is a line in those lightning passes, it might cut your time by 15 to 30 minutes or none at all. So we did the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular ride, or stunt show, which is absolutely amazing, and Luke loved it. And after all these years, it like brought me back to the films, which Luke and I watched in the hotels. Being able to see those behind the scenes, it's just a fun experience, you know. And you're dealing with people that worked on those movies. You're dealing with people that worked with Harrison Ford to, you know, do the stunts. Like, it's just cool. It's not very long. Gets you out of the heat. Super fun experience. But it also gets really busy. And we could have waited, but we just had our guaranteed time. We walked right in. Rise of the Resistance. This is where Disney gets you. It's not included in that multi-pass. You have to buy the premium pass for all of the rides or buy a separate pass for Rise of the Resistance. Not cool. We chose not to buy Rise of the Resistance. I'm going to get to that. I'm glad we didn't. We did the Slinky Dog, which is the roller coaster in Toy Story Land. Luke's first roller coaster, absolutely amazing and fun. He freaking loved it. We did Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train because everybody said that gets busy and it's inside. So we did that. So we got 3 of those. And that was the only lightning passes that we did. I didn't do the Star Tours lightning pass. I didn't do Smuggler's Run. Because the thought process was we got to the park early, go hit that ride early, then go do your other things. So we get there and we're walking around checking things out and we're like, oh, look, Star Tours. There's no line. We walked right in. Now, Star Tours was there when I was a kid. And it's OG Star Wars, but they did tweak it out. We've got some resistant moments in there. There's new scenes, like you're going to Jakku instead of like, you know, Hoth. And like there's, you know, you've got a mix of like OG Star Wars and the sequels, which I don't care. I know the sequels sucked, but being part of the ride, super fun, right? Super fun. So we walked right in. There's no wait. Luke loved it. For the very first ride, his very first Disney trip, he was like, Dad, that was awesome. And I'm like, bro, we ain't seen nothing yet. So we start walking to, you know, Star Wars area. I forgot the name of it. I want to call it Galactic Underground for some reason. I'm tired, guys. But we start walking to the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That's what it's called. And it's this giant Star Wars themed area that I've never been to. You feel like you're at Tatooine. Like Luke was like, Dad, I've literally played Star Wars video games on that roof. And we're walking and we see Rise of the Resistance. And there's like a 20-minute wait, 30-minute wait. And I'm like, do we go? And he's like, I kind of want to just explore. And I said, okay. And we start going in the shops and we're drinking green milk. It's not real milk. And blue milk. It's not real milk. I don't even know what it was. But God, it was so delicious. And we come around the corner and there's stormtroopers walking out. And the first orders everywhere. And the flags are dropped. And we were in. And they're just walking through the crowd like security. Hey, do you got your ID? Like, you feel like you are part of a Star Wars movie because they don't break character. They're so good. And we turn the corner and we go in the store and Luke sees the Mandalorian helmet. He's got to have it. We're not even in the park an hour and a half yet. And the kid's ready to spend money. And I'm not being that dad like, no, son. But I just was trying to get him to think like, dude, you might see something you want later and you have this much money. Now, my parents gave him some money and obviously I'm going to buy him stuff. But let's not blow our wad like the first day, you know? Dad, I really want this. Okay. He's like, plus, if I see the Mandalorian or Boba Fett, I kind of got to have my mask, my helmet. And I'm like, yeah, that's logic. I could follow that logic. So we buy it. Puts it on. Voice changer. Oh, so cool. Dad, this is a collector's item. You can't get this anywhere. And that part, like, yes, the gift made him happy, but it was the emotions and it was him embracing that childhood and embracing that imagination that made me like, dang, yes, this is what it's about. For everything that Disney is and everything that people don't like or do like, this is what it's about. And we turn the corner, and Mandalorian is walking towards us with Grogu in his pouch, which is moving, by the way. And he goes, Dad? And I go, yup. It's freaking Din Djarin, dude. It's Mandalorian. Full armor, looks amazing, walks right up and goes, you there? And points at me. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, come here. And we're walking. He goes, there's a bounty on you because I know it's out there. And I'm like, probably. And he goes, you've gotten in trouble before. And I'm like, that's not a lie. And he goes, but I didn't take the bounty. But be careful. The first order's everywhere. And they could reclaim you. And he looks at Luke, who's wearing the mask. And he looks up and he goes, young one, are you going to take this bounty and get all the money? And Luke's like, yes. I'm like, bro, you freaking ratted me out, dude. And he's like, I'd watch yourself. Get him out of here so you can get the bounty. And he like patted Luke and Grogu's like making noise and waving. And I was like, oh my God. And Luke starts walking away, takes his helmet off and looks at me and goes, Dad, see? How embarrassing would that have been if I didn't have my helmet? I'm like, oh, obviously. So embarrassing. And he goes, I'm not going to turn you in, Dad. And I'm like, okay, good. Thank you. And we go walking and there's just first order troops everywhere. We hang out, we go back, Ride of Resistance. I don't know what happened. It was like Thanos snapped. The line is empty. Luke, you want to go on Rise of Resistance? Yup. We get in, 18-minute wait. One of the coolest rides ever because, guys, it's not just a ride, it's an experience. You literally get hijacked in a vessel. You get kidnapped by the First Order. There's an army, legitimate army of stormtroopers. The door opens, you're at a First Order base, and the freaking stormtroopers are all lined up there. And you're like, Luke looked at me and goes, I don't think we're getting out of this one, Dad. I'm like, I don't either. Then you meet Kylo Ren. You get thrown in a jail cell, busted out of a jail cell, and you've got to escape. Meanwhile, Kylo Ren's coming after you. There's lightsabers coming through the ceiling. There's a 25-foot drop, just goes boom. And you're flying in space. Like, probably one of the coolest things, like, unbelievable. And that's the magic. It's not just get on this ride and here's some Star Wars stuff, cameos. It's an experience and a ride all in one. We had a really good time at Hollywood Studios. We met Darth Vader. What up, D? Which was really cool, especially when you found out that Luke's name was Luke. I told him he was strong with the Force and that he was on his path to becoming a true dark side user, which is probably true. And man, just Chewbacca, Woody, Buzz. I forgot Woody, the girl's name. What's her name? Doesn't matter. Dude, there was army toy soldiers just marching, like amazing. The food is amazing, like the snacks, because we just snacked it up. Chocolate covered bananas, the famous Mickey Mouse ice cream bars. Oh, it was great. Spent like 9 hours there, 8.5 hours. Then the skies opened up, and I'm like, all right, we're done. Went back home. Luke was a trooper. Next day, we're debating. Is it Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom? Because we were going to skip Animal Kingdom and just go straight to Magic and then use the next day to decide if we wanted to hit Epcot or Magic or go back. Or Epcot or Animal or go back. And Luke goes, hey, Dad, Animal Kingdom sounds fun. I like animals. Let's go. And I was like, okay. I've never been to Animal Kingdom, and I'm going to tell you right now, people are sleeping on that park. Number one, it's the park that's got the most shade. Trees everywhere. It is not just about attractions and ride. It's a journey. Because you can go down the way they have it designed. Yes, you have like Pandora over here from Avatar, and you have the different countries. And in each country, and I think they do the countries better than Epcot, in each country, the streets change, the pavement style change, the buildings change, the music changes, but the animals change. It's not just a big zoo like, oh, let's go look at a tiger. It's the settings they're in. The tigers are in where they're supposed to be from. And the attractions mimic that. And I know Epcot does that, but not like Animal Kingdom. Plus, there's just animals everywhere, like birds flying around, and like we saw chameleons and all this. And my buddy Travis Patton Sr., don't worry, I'm going to get to the lizards. I know we talked about that. Fish in every pond, like everything is done in a way that is so unique that makes it more. The plants are unique. Like you're waiting in line to get on a ride and there's monkeys crawling over you. Like you look up and I'm like, dude, why are we covered under ropes? And monkeys. I'm like, okay. So, and I'm not a zoo fan at all. I don't like zoos. But this is a journey. There's little side quests. Like you go down these paths and all of a sudden there's this door to this old, like, looks like maybe something Indiana Jones would be in, this like hut. You open up the hut. Next thing you know, there's somebody in there doing face painting. Come on in. Like, not even advertised. Luke got his face painted. Fell asleep doing it. Or we walked around this one corner to get some shade. And there's a guy dressed up like, I think we're in Africa. And he's like, so we go in and we're like, well, we're about to get forced to buy something. And he just pours us a cold, I don't know what it was. It was like a juice or something and just gave it to us. And for you, I don't know why he's Russian all of a sudden. I can't do an African accent, but it's like for you to freshen your life up. And then he gives Luke this little like blue rock. Looks like, what's that? I go, I don't know. It's an African rock, bro. And it's just, these things are everywhere. Plus, like, they have this like wilderness adventure thing, like from the movie Up. So you get this wilderness book and you can actually go find people and talk to them. And they give you like these little badges and medallions. And okay, I see you, Disney. I see you, Animal Kingdom. I see what you're doing. The safari. Dude, you're in a Jeep and you got a hippo just right down there in the water. You're in a Jeep and you got a deer crossing the road. You're in a Jeep and you got a rhino right there eating. Very cool, man. We saw everything from lions to rhinos to ostriches to the eggs, plus the educational side. Luke was really into like learning about those animals. And Safari was dope. You know, yeah, you can go look at the animals. Like we went to the gorilla waterfalls, it was great. And seeing those gorillas, those massive gorillas, ain't no way 100 men are beating that thing. But being on the safari side of it, worth it. So if you're going and you're debating on Animal Kingdom, and maybe your time is limited between Epcot, like you're like Magic Kingdom, yes. Hollywood, yes. And you're like, we were going to do Epcot or Animal. We don't know. Dude, Epcot, the biggest plus is Guardians of the Galaxy. There's like 2 rides there that are dope, and the rest is just kind of fun. But it's a lot of walking, massive amounts of cement, not enough shade. If you went to Guardian, the thing is, you could go to Epcot, knock out Guardians, get on the tram, and go to Animal Kingdom. I think Animal Kingdom is better than Epcot. Unless you're going with the adults and you're doing like let's drink in every world, like every country to get some cool beers and stuff, sure. But family, I don't think so. I think it has some okay stuff, but nah. I could skip it and not go. Honestly. I like if we went back to Disney again, I mean, other than Guardians, I could be like, unless they come out with something new, I'd be like, man, we don't need to go to Epcot. Animal Kingdom, on the other hand, there's things that we missed that I would love to go. Like, I am not an Avatar fan. They have a couple rides there. One of them is very similar to the Soaring ride in Epcot, which is amazing. And you're riding one of these, whatever the beast is, and you're flying through Pandora, and you really feel like it because your feet are dangling and you're in the air. And that is cool. And like the scenery of Avatar is great. They have another ride. It's like River something of Avatar. And guys, you have to forgive me because I don't know the names because I don't care about Avatar. Um, it's beautiful and it's a great spot to cool. But essentially, the ride is It's a Small World just with Avatar, better special effects in different languages. That's it. Luke didn't care for it. I didn't care for it. But to take a break from the heat, sure. And just to see the money and that. And if you're a fan of Avatar, I think you'll absolutely love that. Best ride there, though, in my opinion, Dinosaur is unreal at Animal Kingdom in Dinoland. It is a hidden roller coaster. It is a interactive experience roller coaster is the best way I can describe it because it was way more on the roller coaster side than I thought. And that was an awesome surprise. We had a blast on that. And I think they'll probably get rid of that. That dinosaur movie's been out for a long time. I hope they don't get rid of that ride. Dinosaur Land needs a little work. I think there's things they could do. Especially if they incorporated that dinosaur movie from Pixar. And just having dinosaurs there, it's very cool. But I could see the dinosaur ride leaving, and that would be a shame. So if you go to Animal Kingdom, be aware. It's not You're not going upside down or anything, but there's surprises on that ride, and I think they're worth it. Super fun. Luke loved it. I loved it. Expedition Everest, a roller coaster into Mount Everest, and you see that mountain from afar away. Oh my God, that is put Space Mountain to shame. That thing is so Luke and I got a fast pass. We did the fast pass again. Fast pass Safari, fast pass to Everest, and what was the other one we did? Was it Dinosaur? I think it was Dinosaur. Yeah, it was Dinosaur. Maybe it was Dinosaur. Pretty sure it was Dinosaur. It might have been the other ride. I don't know. Guys, I'm not going to be able to remember everything because I have to think about all that, but we did a lot more at Hollywood than I talked about. Everest, he was stoked because he wanted to go on that roller coaster. We got in line, we just zip right in. We sit down. He had a moment. And he goes, "Damn, I'm a little nervous." I go, "Me too, bud." Because that's part of it. And I look and his head's down and I'm like, "You ready?" And he's like, "Yeah." And his face is and I could tell he's about to freak. And I go, "Whoa, whoa, 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 buddy, are you okay?" And he's like, kind of crying, but not like screaming, just tears. He's like, I don't know about this ride, Dad." I'm like, "Okay, we don't have to do it." Well, the guy came to check on us. And he's like, he put up his hand like, hold off, don't take off. And he's like, hey, bud, are you okay? And the kid's like, Luke's like, no. And I go, well, buddy, do you want to, do you want to get off? And there goes my text again on my iPad. I go, do you want to get off? And he goes, do you? And I go, we can. Like, I don't care. And the guy, this is again the level of service with Disney, looks at him and goes, hey, man, if you want to get off, you can. And I'm going to give you this sticker. And it was like #1 or something like that. I don't know what it was on it. And if you change your mind at any time and you want to come back, you can skip the line, you and your dad, and walk right up and you can get on, okay? And he's like, it's not that scary, but sometimes we need to think about it. Man, you don't get that from anywhere. And Luke goes, well, Dad, what do you want to do? And I go, I'm game, whatever you want. And he goes, I don't know why I'm crying. And I go, it's adrenaline, buddy. Do you have that? Yeah. Well, you're not crying. I go, no, but my heart's racing. But we'll be okay. I got you. If you don't want to do it, let's go do something else. He goes, nah, let's do it. Just wipes his tears off. And the guy's like, all right, man. He looks at me. He goes, the kid's a trooper. I go, yeah. And he goes, he's going to be fine. I go, I know. He looks like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go. And I'm like, the ball's on this kid. So we take off and it's fun. But you go all the way up the mountain and you look over and Luke looks to the right and he goes, we're really high up, Dad. And I go, yeah, we are, buddy. And you get up and you're doing this and then you shoot up and you stop and you look and one of the tracks is like broken and up. And I'm like, okay, they said we were going to encounter the Yeti. Maybe this is part of it. And you start to hear the growling of the Yeti and it shakes. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's going to go down. And nah, shoots us backwards into a cave. Yetis clawing, snow falling. They spray this blast of cold, not cold air, but yeah, I guess it is cold air, and it almost feels like ice crystals. And and he's screaming, but it's in a fun way. And he kind of holds my hand for a minute, and I'm like, "Dude, this is great!" And he's like, "Yeah." And then, of course, I posted the picture online, so if you follow me, you see that. Wow, he gets off, and he goes 10 out of 10. He goes, honestly, I don't want to do it again, but that was 10 out of 10. And I'm like, and then we just went on a chill ride after that. And look, the shows, the food. I mean, we got parrots, we got to pet monkeys, we got to pet parrots, we got the macaws, like learning about the macaws and how they brought 14 of them and raised them, and they're getting ready to reintroduce them to the wild to repopulate. They came flying in and like sat right next to Luke. Like, Animal Kingdom had some of the best food ever, too, snack wise. I got this Vietnamese cold brew coffee with sweet cream. I go back to Animal Kingdom for that. Then like we were waiting on a churro. Guy's like, here, sorry it took so long. Didn't charge us for it. Gave Luke a churro, gave him chocolate sauce. I got a frozen cappuccino. Oh my God. Luke got some, I don't even know what it is. Some blue, weird, orange frozen drink that was phenomenal, made with fresh fruit. Oh my dude, like Animal Kingdom is not one to miss. I'm telling you. And the cool thing about it is you could do just a nice day at Animal Kingdom and not have to go back. You could do a half a day if you wanted to. And you could combine it with Epcot. 100%. Magic Kingdom, guys. So, we go back to the hotel, we eat. Magic Kingdom, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. We did not get to do the haunted house, which really bummed me out. It bummed me out. We did fast passes. The ride was down. They honored it for any time, but they also added 2 lightning lane passes to any ride, which I thought was cool. But then by the time the ride came back up, Luke was done. And the lightning pass, and it said like hour and a half wait. And then the lightning lane said like 35 minutes. And I'm like, so I asked him, I said, what do you want to do, bud? And he goes, I just need to go home. Like, I want to go back to the hotel. He was done. And I get it. It was the hottest day that we were there was during the situation. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him for it at all. We had fun there. I think he preferred Animal Kingdom over it, to be honest with you. I do. Don't know why. Not saying he didn't have fun, but don't know why. We hit Epcot because we wanted to do Guardians. So we did the rope dropping at Epcot. We got to Epcot before the park opened. We get in line, they drop the rope, and there's lines going to the main rides. And they have people there with signs. This is the beginning of the line. This is the end of the line. We walked right into Guardians. It took me about 8 minutes to get through the line. That's it. You want to talk about why this is the #1 ride at Disney? It's because it's amazing. It is a movie. It is you get the characters from the movie, the real actors that are delivering their lines are there on the screen, like hologramming in and all that. The music, it's I've never like this is what Disney does best. They take a ride and a moment and a feeling of that movie, and you feel like you are in that movie. You feel like this is part of a story, not just a crazy ride. And this ride was crazy. And our song was September, which probably, because you have a little speaker in there, probably the best song that it could have been for the ride. As Luke and I are just, you're going through it, just jamming out, singing. Luke, who barely knows the song, is like, dude, this is great. And you're going sideways, and then you spin around and go this way, and you're fighting a celestial, like, what? Rockets there, like blowing up stuff, and Groot just comes in out of nowhere, and he's like, I am Groot, and he's firing a gun at this thing. That was awesome. Luke really enjoyed that. The Ratatouille ride was cool because it uses all your senses. So, like, even though I'm not a big fan of the movie, you feel like you're a mouse because you're in this little tiny mouse thing, and they combine 3D with like real effects. Like at one point, we're shoved in an oven, and they turn on the heat, and you feel the heat. Like that was cool. Pixar Short Film Festival is worth it. It's all 3D, more like 4D because your chairs move. They shoot water at you, and it's just a really nice way to get out of the sun. You know, the food again is great. We went on that ride in Mexico. It's just a little chill ride through the Mexican restaurant. Nothing exciting. Good opportunity though to get out of the heat. But I think the biggest issue with Epcot was even though we got there super early in the morning to go on Guardians and knock everything out so we could go do other stuff, they don't open like we're hungry by 10 o'clock because we've been there for 2.5 hours. Even though we ate breakfast, we just did a grab and go breakfast. Took it on the bus. Nothing's open. I was really disappointed in the amount of things that took a long time to get open, 11:30. And I'm talking like even the little stands, like the food stands, the snack stands. Other than coffee and pastries, there's not a lot open at Epcot. If the park opens at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, why are you having everything open at 11? Like and it felt really. Epcot needs a facelift, 100%, and I know they've done a lot. They changed the Norway or whatever the Viking ride they used to have with whatever monster that was. They changed it to Frozen. If you're not a fan of Frozen, don't go on it. Luke and I just did it just because it was there. The ride itself is kind of cool because the boat looks cool. But essentially, if you've ever been on that Viking ride, it's almost the same. They didn't change it very much. They still have that drop. They just got rid of that monster, and now it's the abominable snowman creature or whatever it was. I don't know. Kitty. But to me, the ride didn't have any great special effects or anything. It was just kind of fun. Hold on. Stop it. That. It didn't have a lot of special effects. Like it was okay, but it was just an excuse for them to play the Frozen songs over and over again. Yeah, if you have a little girl or you're a fan of Frozen and you've, or even if your son is a fan of it, sure, I guess, whatever. But it's just, I think even from that level, it didn't feel fun. It was just like, okay, like Luke couldn't stand it and I couldn't stand it. I was like, this is dumb. There was another ride like that too. That now, again, like I said, we are not fans of the movie. So that's not for us. And I just assumed, maybe there'd be something cool in there, but I don't know. I didn't really like it. And I get incorporating Frozen. You got to incorporate Frozen, right? But I wasn't into it. It would have been a much cooler to like, they did do some, one cool thing. There's a part where she blasts you and you feel like you're getting hit with snow and it's cold. But yeah, I wouldn't go on it again. Luke wasn't a fan of Figment. I just went on it for nostalgia. It's okay. They changed it. It's not my thing. Some of the lands and stuff, like I just think they need a facelift because there's a lot of open space and things to do in Epcot, but I don't think that's a park for kids, man. I other than Guardians, and then they got the fast trek ride, which is about to reopen. But I think you could go there and knock out 3 rides and be like, bam, I'm out, and take the tram to another park. To be honest with you, because I think Animal Kingdom definitely blew it out of the water. Now there's some cool food, but they don't open on time. Like, what's the point of getting there early when you can't eat? So we spent a lot of our. I think if you do something like this, obviously you can go to Disney and eat. We focused on like the snackages, and I'm not saying we got a chicken leg and fries at one point, split that, or turkey leg and fries, big giant turkey leg and split that. Mostly though was all snackages, like the cool, unique, fun foods that you can't get anywhere else. That's what we wanted to spend our money on. We did pretty much 90% of our meals at the hotel. And it was great. It was great. They do have health options. So like you can get a chicken salad, you can get there's salmon there and stuff like that. Some of the meals, if they were really big, they would use 2 of your meals for one. So for example, the last day that we were there, I asked Luke if he wanted to go to a park to like try to hit the haunted house. Like, let's go hit that haunted mansion and just come back. And he wasn't feeling it, didn't want to. So we just hung out at the hotel. We went to the rock climbing. We hung out at the pool. I threw a load of laundry in. They would buzz me. Laundry's done. Throw it in the dryer. Go back in the pool. Arcade, rock climbing. We played football. Played video games. We slept in. We just kind of woke up when we felt like it. You can mobile order the food. So you mobile order it. You let them know when you're there. So I would mobile order it and then start walking and go, I'm here. By the time I get in, it was there, ready to be picked up. Pick up the food, take it back to the hotel and eat. Hang out. Like, we had a blast. Went to check out the store and just enjoyed it. So the last meal there, we got a pizza. And it took 2 of my last 2 credits on my food. Luke still had 4. So we could have eaten more, honestly. And we had like 2 snacks each still left. But we were leaving early the next morning. So the food worked out real well. We got a full pizza. This pizza's massive. 8 slices, Brooklyn style, big Brooklyn style pieces. We got chips, pizza, a little bit of salad, got some sodas, went back to the hotel. We just binge watched Bob's Burgers and ate it in bed and passed out. The morning we didn't get to, because our flight left super early. We didn't get to go to breakfast, unfortunately. I did book us a ride from the hotel to the airport that was not Uber. I forget the name of the company, and if I can remember that, I'll let you know. because I highly recommend using them. And they go to all of them. They go to Universal. You can book it round trip. They go to all the Disney resorts, and it is vastly cheaper than an Uber. It's $29 for me and Luke. They pick you up right there. They take you right to your gate. If I'd have done that both times, that'd have been $60 for both. I spent $45.50 on an Uber. So definitely look into that. Definitely utilize that. Utilize the free amenities. There was a miniature golf that we never got to, and we have free miniature golf. The very first day there, we could have gone to the water park for free. And I found out later that we could have used that on Sunday. You get a pass, and although it says the first day that you're there, they'll honor it. The other thing about the lightning passes is be very strategic with those lightning passes and look at the rides and realize you don't have to buy the platinum multi-pass, which is almost like $200 a person per park. It's ridiculous. Because even then, it's cheaper just to buy the multi-lane like I spent for each park. Let's say $40. Still cheaper for me and Luke. 40, 120 bucks, 160. It was still cheaper to do it that way than to buy the premium multi-pass. Still cheaper. And we still got on there was not a ride other than the Haunted Mansion that we didn't get to do. And that sucks on the Haunted Mansion, but that had nothing to do with us not getting there. It had to do with the fact that it was down. So everything else was great. I'd avoid the Finding Nemo ride and go to the Turtle Talk with Crush. That is a more fun, interesting ride. The Nemo ride's boring. Honestly, even for little kids, it's boring. You don't do anything. You're sitting in an uncomfortable clam, and it's literally just reenacting moments from the movie with holograms and screens. It's not exciting. I didn't expect it to be exciting, but I expected them to put more effort into it. The only cool thing is it drops you off right in the middle of the aquarium, but you can go to the aquarium. So I would skip that. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train, absolutely amazing. Super fun. It's got some action. It's got some funny moments to it. A lot of the Disney characters makes you feel like you are in a cartoon. Luke, who's not a fan of Mickey or Minnie, loved it. Totally worth it. 100%. I think the first Pandora ride we went on with, you're just kind of going down the river. Unless you're a fan of Avatar, skip it. Or you want to get out of the heat, that's it. It's not that great. Don't sleep on Animal Kingdom, dude. Do not. Animal Kingdom's legit. But Disney is expensive. There are things, though, to think about. We went on the Kali River Rapids, which, by the way, is a really cool ride. It needs to have more water. More people need to get wet. We didn't get that wet. We were kind of disappointed. We almost went on it again. That was the one I did a fast pass for. They have lockers there, so you can store your stuff. We changed our shoes, we stored our stuff, stored our cell phone, all that crap. Actually, I didn't store my cell phone. I had it in a bag. It was fine. You get an hour for free. After that, it's only $10 for the next hour. We walked around the park, then walked on the fast pass. We didn't even come close to using it. So they do offer that. The other thing, too, that yes, you can bring stuff in, snacks and backpacks. I highly recommend that you do that. Food, sandwiches, you can bring that all in. Everywhere that they have water fountains, Epcot doesn't have enough. I didn't see any refill stations at Epcot except for the beginning. But like I said, you can bring water, which is what we did with all those bottles. What you have to do, though, is if you anywhere that sells fountain drinks, they have to give you a cup of water, a cup for water. They announced that multiple places, which I thought was really cool because some restaurants don't even like doing that. So anywhere that you can get water, take water, fill it up. And they're marked on the map, and they're also marked on the interactive map. And the interactive map has wait times and all that stuff. And you can, change your pastimes and all that. So kudos to Disney on that. It is absolutely expensive. Those collector pins that everybody wants, Luke found one that he liked. It's $25. He didn't buy it. $25. There was a little baby Groot stuffed animal that he wanted. It had like a weighted bottom you could put on your shoulder or put on your desk. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. $30. He chose no. So that's kind of like, I didn't think the food was badly priced or the drinks or even the souvenir mugs or anything. It's the stuff. I know that it's Disney and I know it's outrageous everywhere, but it's too much. That was my biggest complaint. Everything else, they have a magic band too, guys, as I wrap this up. They have this magic band that's like an iWatch, Apple Watch. You can buy different ones. Cheapest one is like $25. And they're like, yeah, but it loads up all your payment on there and it loads up your passes. And all you got to do is wave it. And there's cool stuff around the park. Like you wave the magic band and these animatronics move. And sometimes you get bonus. I'm like, so my iPhone holds my payments. My iPhone has the app that holds everything you just said. My iPhone also holds my passes. Why do I want these magic bands? There was nothing that I saw that these magic bands answered or like that gave me that I would want to buy one and spend $50 for us to wear it. I don't even like wearing watches. So maybe for a collector's item, I you have to charge it too. Like, come on, Disney. Come on. I saw so many people with him too. Luke and I did not do that. I don't recommend it because I didn't find it. Now, if you research and you find something cool that it does that I don't know about, great. But I didn't see a benefit to it. So that's just another way for them to get money. Um, it's an expensive trip. You can do it right. I will tell you, with all the extras, it's about $3,000 for us. Um, Hotel was about 2,000, 2,200 with passes, with the passes um, to the park and with the meals. But I can tell you that one of our meals, our very first meal there, had we bought it, would have been $50. Yeah, about maybe 45 for one meal at the hotel. Do the math. Plus all the extra snacks and fruits, like it's better. It is expensive, guys. There's no doubt about it. But there are things that you can do to take advantage of some of those free opportunities. I mean, they have so many like free movie night. Luke and I watched a Pixar movie that just dropped in theaters. We got limited passes. We got to watch it. That's amazing. Take advantage of that stuff. You don't have to do everything, and with a little planning and some a la carte stuff, it works. Now, I will say that when we travel, I'm going to pay for a better flight next time. Luke and I have decided to go back to Orlando next year, but we're hitting Universal Studios. I've never been. I'm super excited about it. There's a lot more thrill rides, a lot more cool stuff. Like I'm not bashing Disney, but there's more thrill rides. We got the horror, we got Harry Potter, the Minions, Fast and the Furious, like all these things and all that. And I did the math on it, and it's going to be about $1,000 cheaper. We started planning it. We'll be going next year. Knock on wood, God forbid. Everybody's healthy and life, but that's the plan. We're not flying Spirit. Also, when are we done with this TSA crap? Like Transportation Security Administration are overpaid. And I'm not saying we don't need it. But I think since 9/11 happened, they have completely taken advantage of it. To protect you and your fellow passengers, the TSA is required by law to inspect all baggage. As part of the process, some bags are opened. Your bag was among those. Why? Why was it among that? Tell me. What set it off randomly? Nothing. But you searched it. Nothing broke. But even if it did, they're not responsible for it. So give them carte blanche just to jack around in my bag, be creepy pervs and break stuff or steal. Not to mention this whole like can't bring a sealed bottled water on a plane. Like I have to dump it out or toss it before I get through security just so I can go buy a $7 bottle of water. I'm convinced that has nothing to do with 9/11, but more to do with them just forcing more money out of us. It's ridiculous. Now they take a picture. Last year when I went on a flight, gave my ID, gave my boarding pass, we went in. Now they're like, can you look at the camera and take a picture? I got my picture taken twice. For what? To confirm my ID? You already confirmed it. I'm not saying we don't need security, but these guys, they got to go, man. They got to calm down. I'm still paying a post 9/11 tax. Why are you taxing me for getting attacked? I didn't do it. Oh, it's to justify the TSA's pay. Unbelievable. My final tips, do your research, guys. Do your research. Park off-site. There's so many cheap parking sites for airports. Trust me. Meal plan. Look what's good for you and your family. Don't skip on Animal Kingdom. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. Epcot needs some work, needs a facelift. Thank God for Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank God for the soaring ride. Takes you 50 feet in the air. Got to fly through like the Great Wall of China. It's really, truly amazing. Your feet are dangling. Amazing ride. And it's not like intense. It's just, wow, you know. There's some great things at Epcot. I think they got enough room to piece some things together. I think China, Japan, Mexico, probably some of the best. Food wise too, and just like the way it looks. America's okay. um, but I think that if I had to skip a park, it would be Epcot. I'd just go in the morning. Go in the morning, knock out Guardians, knock out Soarin', maybe Ratatouille, bounce, hit Animal Kingdom, spend the day there. If you don't feel like going to Guardians and that's not your thing, then go to Animal Kingdom. There's still way more to do at Animal Kingdom than there is at Epcot in my eyes. And it's underrated. And I am glad that Luke brought it up and talked about, he's like, Dad, I like animals. Let's go. You know what? I'm glad. And overall, for me, though, the greatest thing ever was having that connection and that bonding with that boy. And I know he's my son. And we were boying it up, telling jokes, ripping it, literally. Being boys, wrestling, stupid conversations about planets and Coca-Cola. But it was seeing him really embrace that moment and joy because, you know, he's been to Kendrick Lamar. He's been to the Jabberwockies. You know, that's adult things, you know. But being him to tap into his inner 7-year-old, which is what he is, seeing him smile holding Donald Duck's hand is crazy to me because he's not that type of kid. He's not into like Donald and Mickey and all that. But he was with a bunch of adults who were like, yeah, Donald. And he was into it. And for him to look at me and go, Dad, do you like being back on that roller coaster? I'm like, I've never been on that Mount Everest roller coaster before. Animal Kingdom wasn't here. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, it was just the mountain? Yeah, bud. It was just the mountain. Because he thought it was a real mountain. I'm not taking that away from him. Dad, can you believe we saw the Mandalorian from the TV show? No, bud. I mean, he was from the TV show. Might not be the actor. I'm not taking that magic away. And that's what Disney does so well. And that's what's so important to kids and so important for adults and so important for people to just go back and cherish that moment. And I can picture his face on a lot of this, more so than I can remember the order of rides that we went on or the food we ate or what we bought. I have so many pictures, but I could have taken some more, but I didn't because I just want to embrace the memory. I love it. So That was my trip, guys. If you got any questions on Disney, I'm a pro. Probably not. And I know there's things we missed, but that's what's great for if we ever go back, and we probably will one day, but not next year. It's Universal. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. If I miss anything, just ask me about it.